I went on a trip and I had a video go viral, and the entire time I was on the trip, I was making $600, $700, $800, I think $1,500 per day, paid for the entire trip. I had multiple live stream days where I did over $5,000. I think I had 4 days I did over $5,000, 2 days over $6,000, 1 day over $8,000. So my best day ever. Yeah, in commissions.
Welcome to another episode of the Social Army Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce, and today we have a really interesting guest with us, somebody who I would consider a double threat to TikTok Shop. What I mean by that is somebody who's absolutely killed it with live streams and has somehow managed to figure out how to absolutely kill it with videos. So again, like always, I'm not going to take a lot of time with this introduction, but I do want to get Cole on screen and let you guys get a good feel of who this man is. Everybody, this is Cole, the absolute master at lives and soon to be one of the best at making videos. Cole?
Bryce, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
Do you want me to get into it? Right into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sounds
give an
good.
introduction. Let's see who you are, man.
My name's Cole. So I've been doing, TikTok Shop since I probably found out about it last December. Didn't think too much of it. But nice. I come from the Amazon influencer program. I started doing that about a year ago now. Kind of a similar program where you make videos, you upload them. If people watch them and they buy a product, you get a commission. In that program, it's a lot lower commission. So I've done about $60,000 this past year on Amazon influencer, which is like still great. But when we consider some of the numbers I'm doing on TikTok, I think I'm about to break that in the month of September.
Right.
So it's been pretty crazy, but I found out about it in December, started seeing some people, post about it, but it was a lot of products that I'm like, I don't know if like those are good products. I don't know if people are actually making money doing this. And then I saw someone post in February, March. They were in the Amazon influencer program. They're a part of a group that I was a part of, and like a Facebook group, and they posted that they made $40,000 in a month. And I'm like, that's crazy. Okay, I need to try to do this more. And I already had an account that had like 14,000 followers on TikTok. I posted a bunch of fitness content on there, and I kind of knew how to get people's attention. Like, it was back when like series were really popular, where it's like day one of whatever, and then day two, right, day three, day four. So what I did is I did day one of training to be the fittest person on earth. And the reason I said it, I consider myself one of the fitter people on the planet, but the reason I made it that title is because I knew people were going to come into the comment section and be like, no, there's a basketball player, there's a CrossFitter, there's a triathlete that's fitter than you. So I kind of was like, okay. So I had this account, and I wasn't doing anything with it. So once I started seeing everyone make all this money, or I saw someone make $40,000 in a month, I'm like, okay, I need to try this out. So I immediately got into the program. I started requesting some samples, and I started making some videos. I saw some people go viral with some like dog leashes. I don't know if you remember the ear cleaning kit that people.
Oh, yes, I do. That was one of the first products I ever posted.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, my ears are disgusting. I'm definitely going to be able to go viral with this. So I copied their videos. And I probably posted, 50, 60, 70 videos. And looking back, there was no great hook to them. There was no great relatability. Like, they just weren't that good of videos. So I was like, why am I not getting sales? So throughout February, March, and then halfway through April, I basically made like, I don't know, a couple $100. And I was like, okay, like this is cool, but like I'm spending a lot of time doing this, and it's just not really working.
Right.
So then I saw someone go live. I started seeing these live streams pop up, and I was like, maybe I should just try that. And I went, and I was in, I was visiting a friend in Hawaii, and I was kind of looking at some of his supplements and stuff, and he started telling me about this. I was like, what's this, like vitamin D3 K2 that he had? And he was like, well, you need K2 to absorb the vitamin D3. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So I immediately ordered it from Micro Ingredients, not knowing that it was a super popular product on TikTok. And it arrived a couple of days later, and at about 8 p.m. one night, I went and I did a live stream on this. And I should probably say, like, prior to this, I tried live streaming like creatine, just random products that I found, and I tried to live stream them, and I'd get like 5, 10, 15 viewers. And with creatine, I think I got like 20 to 30 viewers, and I ended up making like in like 3 hours, like $200. So I was like, okay, this is cool. But I tried this D3K2 and I went live with it, and I kind of started creating this script in my head, kind of telling people, hey, why this is so amazing, why we need the vitamin D3 and the K2. and I went from like 10 to 20 viewers up to like 100 viewers, up to like 500 viewers, up to like over 1,000 viewers. And I was like, this is crazy. And this is
That's
like the first time
insane.
with the product. Yeah. And I was like, this is nuts. And I was watching the sales come through, and I was like, I think my commission on this thing is like $4, but not
Yeah.
realizing that I had a bonus on top of it, which, you know, TikTok likes to do. So it was actually like I
Those
was making like
commission
$8.
bonuses are huge. Yeah, they're
Huge.
huge.
So I do 4 hours. I'm on there for 4 hours. I'm like, this is crazy. I hop off and I make $2,500. And I was like, okay, this
Commission?
is something. $2,500 in 4 hours.
Wow, and that's all commission, right? That wasn't GMV. That was
All commission, but
Wow.
that was with the bonus. So I think I sold 300 or something vitamin D3 K2 from micro ingredients. And the reason it worked is because I didn't realize it, but that was already a super popular product. So you want to,
Right,
if you are live streaming, you want super popular products, and that just was. So that was kind of my introduction to success on TikTok, essentially.
Right. That's insane. And you stumbled into an already popular product, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I hear it so often on how many times people accidentally fell into this and started making just stupid amounts of money. Amber is a good example of that. And now I mean, it's just nuts to hear. A buddy told you about it, you picked it up and you started selling it, and you made $2,400 your first live stream with it. That's wild.
Totally, but like the first 2 months, I made basically nothing. So there's definitely a learning curve with it. Like I heard like you popped off like right off the bat, and I feel like a lot of people who like get like that instant success, they're like, this is awesome. They continue with it. But unfortunately, like a lot of people like aren't going to suffer through even only 2 months, really not that long to suffer through. A lot of people quit before that point, which is unfortunate because the earning potential on this thing, I've made I made about $250,000, on this program. So, in the last 5 months. So, this is a crazy program.
That's $250,000 in the last 5 months is crazy. I mean, it's just insane. And I mean, 2 months is most people don't stick to something for more than 10 days. Most people won't even stick to it for a week. If they're not seeing results overnight, a lot of people will quit. So the fact that you stuck to it for 2 months in general, just because you knew what the potential was, is nuts. But the thing is, what sets you apart from others too, I think, is the fact that you had experience with Amazon influencer, which is a very slow earning, game. Not a lot of money is made over there. You can make decent money, but not a lot of money is made over there. But you saw the potential and you stuck to it, knowing that eventually, if you found a way to do it, you were going to pop with it, which is good. But it's so hard to get people to want to stick to these kinds of things, because if they don't see those results right away with the effort that they're putting in, which in most cases is very minimal effort, they quit. And it's unfortunate to see. I see it happen all the time. You see it happen all the time. But good on you. I mean, sticking in for 2 months, but you had made a little bit of money. Like you said, you made a few $100s here and there. It wasn't substantial by any means, but I mean, you saw the proof of concept was there, right? Is that kind of what kept you going?
Yeah, and it was honestly probably just more, and at that time I was making about $5,000 a month on the Amazon program, so I was making way more on that. But it was more that I saw these screenshots from these, with these crazy screenshots, and I'm like, okay, so it is possible. And I was like, why? And I told my wife, I was like, man, like this would be so crazy if I got to this point. And then like 2-3 months ago, she like told me, she just like reminded me, she's like, remember when you saw those like screenshots and stuff, and you were like, wouldn't it be crazy if we were at this point? And it was like that month we'd made, I think, $55,000. And I'm like, oh wow. And that was the first time I actually realized, I was like, wait, I actually am at that point. I just like, you get so caught up in all this stuff, and then you like forget where you kind of started and where you like found this program. But that's why I like when people, post those crazy screenshots, because it does motivate you. But at another point, it is kind of tricky, because sometimes, if you aren't doing well in this program and you're seeing people post, 40, 50, like I posted in Social Army, I posted in the Wins channel that I made 55,000. And then who was it? I think it was Sherry. Immediately the next post was 122,000. I was like, in 1 month. And I'm like, okay, like, and I thought my post was gonna go crazy, and everyone's gonna be like, what? And like, it got a lot of likes and stuff. But I was like super. I was like, it was crazy to see it, and over 100 grand. That's my goal. But that was awesome.
It's humbling sometimes, man. You're out here, and $50,000 in a month. That's nothing to just bat an eye at. That is insane. That's more money than a lot of people see in an entire year of working. Some 2 years. But just to post a screenshot of $55,000 in a month and then to just get dwarfed by a $120,000 screenshot is such an unreal feeling. It's like, wow, the earning potentials with TikTok is just wild. And Sherry, I mean, we all know she's a killer, and she has been in the game for a while now. But just to be alongside large creators like this every single day, it's the motivation that comes from it is unlike anything else. I mean, that's what I did in the beginning, man. I had to surround myself with the individuals that I knew were killing it because it was just going to keep pushing me to achieve the same results. Because if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. And same goes for you. You saw it happen, and you knew immediately, yeah, that's something that I can hopefully one day achieve. And now look at you. You're killing it, not only with lives doing over $400,000 in GMV just in lives and since you started, to now absolutely destroying videos. Every time I see a video of you, you have a new viral video. It's crazy.
I don't know. I keep thinking, with this program, there's always going to be ebbs and flows. You're going to hit these rough patches for like a couple of weeks where like, hey, maybe you're not going to hit like a good video. Things aren't going to go well. But since I started in the end of April, I had like one like couple days where I was like my product that I'd been live streaming for months and months stopped getting sales. And I was like, oh man, this is not good. What am I going to do? So I tried switching to another product for a couple days. And then it was like 2 days later, I went on a trip and I had a video go viral. And the entire time I was on the trip, I was making $600, $700, $800, I think $1,500 per day, paid for the entire trip. So me and my wife had a great time out in Colombia because we're like, oh, wow, let's go out to these nicer restaurants. We're going to, we get the best hotels and stuff. And so it made it like, where I'm like, we're making tons of money while we're on vacation, which was cool. Then that's the beauty of videos. And then since then, I've had videos hit over 10 million views. I think I got one that's about to hit 5 million that I posted two weeks ago. And then I posted one with the echo beaters that you actually had a lot of success with. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I'm talking about how I hate the product. And it's got like 500,000 views.
That's good. Are you getting sales on it?
I'm actually getting sales. I just posted it because I was like, I couldn't get it on and I was like, I'm just going to post a video. Yeah, it's super tight. So I'm like, I'm going to post a video of me like struggling to put this thing on. And I'm like, yeah, so, if you guys do want to get this, size up more than you think you need to. And I don't know, I think I've done like $2,000 on that video or something like that. Crazy. And I'm not even saying it's a good product. Like I basically, and maybe that's just the honesty and people are like, oh, okay, this guy's being honest.
Authenticity sells, man, regardless on if it's a bad review or if it's a good review. If people can feel as if you're being authentic and real about what you're talking about, they'll trust you more. That's why I don't care what you're doing. Be honest about the product. Don't promote a product just because you can get the product, right? Promote a product that you actually enjoy having. It's funny, I set you up. You had posted a video about this shirt. Was there a reason you got that shirt, or was it just a sample that you were like, screw it, I want to check it out?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like a comfortable, and I thought it would like look cool, and like I don't know. My wife keeps telling me I should probably wear some like better clothes because if it's up to me, I wear a tank top and basketball shorts every single day. And I was like, oh man, like this shirt could look like pretty good. It might look nice if we go out to dinner and stuff. Right. So and then it was just super uncomfortable. I hated the way it looked, so I just kind of made like a crappy video on it, and then you set me up with like a comment to like do a comment reply on it, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that because it was just a bad shirt. I didn't want to do it.
Right, and that leads to it too, because I mean, sometimes you'll look at these products and you're like, that's a cool product. You get it, and you just realize how shitty the quality is. I have several around the house that are like that. Actually, I got these Bluetooth glasses that I thought were going to be really cool. One of the worst products I've ever had, ever. I mean, the concept's awesome, but for a $25 price point, I should have known better. I should have known they were going to be absolutely terrible. But it's one of those things. Sometimes you got to post the video. But I thought it was a good shirt, and I thought you were wearing it because you were liking it. So I was like, I'm going to set you up, see if maybe you can do a good video reply out of this. But it turns out it was a bad shirt, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. Wait, is that the glasses that everyone went viral with?
I don't know. It's these,
like the Bluetooth glasses were.
Yes.
Yeah.
These.
Okay. Yeah. I never got those ones. That's like one of the products. I have every product probably at this point, like that I think maybe I could probably make a good video on, and that would be a product that I was like thinking of, but I guess I never got that one.
No, and it's one of those where I thought the same thing about the X15. It's the one that I went stupid viral with.
Yeah.
I was thinking, this is such a cheesy product. Nobody's going to buy it. I don't really like them that much. Then I started wearing them, and then I made 3 videos on it, and the third video blew up to 20 million views. And in the back of my head, I'm like thinking maybe this will be the same thing, because it is cheesy, it's funny, but there's a lot of ideas and a lot of really good ways to make videos with it because it is somewhat of a unique product. But it's just one of those things. If you're watching this video, the glasses are good glasses. No. Anyway, I want to kind of dive into a little bit on your live streams, man. You were killing it with lives for a long time. You started with the vitamin D3K2s. You found some good success with that, but then you switched over to a product that I think everybody recognizes you for, your name and the product itself, and that's those ice makers. What got you moving on that? I mean, what was interesting about it that made you want to start selling ice makers live?
Yeah, so it was probably I would have stayed with the vitamin D3K2, but I started getting some violations with it just because
Yeah.
it's a supplement and I didn't have a script that was bulletproof. I was saying stuff and some people set me up. Someone asked me about weight loss one time in the comment section
Oh.
and it was a total setup and I said the word weight or something like that and then boom, I got a violation for that. So I was at the point where I think I was at like 18 points, maybe 16 points
Oh, that's
violation.
playing with fire. Playing with
Exactly. So I
fire.
was like, okay, while I'm still making, hundreds of dollars per hour on these vitamin D3 and K2, I'm like, my account's going to be gone before the weekend. So I needed to switch it up. And I'd seen a couple people live stream ice makers and they had 4, 5, 600 viewers. And I was like, okay, I saw in my email that the company Cowsar, there's two companies
That's
that do
who it
ice
is.
maker. Yeah, Cowsar and Uhomie. Are like the two kind of big ones. And I saw
Yeah.
they'd emailed me and they're like, hey, do you want some free samples? And I was like, yeah, sure. Didn't really think much of it. They sent them to me. I set up like a little live stream, I had it going and I did like 2.5 hours and I think I sold like 20, 25 of them or something like that. So I ended up making like, I don't know, my commissions were pretty low at the starting point on this. Like I think I started at 15% commission rate. And by the end of it, I was, I think I got up like 10% higher or something. So my commissions were crazy high by the end, which was really nice. When you stick to the same product, you can kind of keep pushing
Right.
these companies. And especially if you have a product where there's two competitors and you can bounce back and forth between them, leverage them off each other. That's something that I did and allowed me to get higher commissions than everyone else. But I did it and I made probably like $300, maybe like the first stream. I did it again the next day. I did it again the next day. I did it again the next day. And every single time I was probably I started at maybe $150 an hour. I worked up to $200 an hour, 250, 300. And like, it felt like it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Especially when my commission rates started getting higher and higher. And I got to the point where I was probably doing, I was getting crazy viewers just because I think it was just my consistency and I'd always stay on for 2-3 hours minimum in the beginning. And I was getting, I was having points where I was making $500 an hour. I was making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per day. And it just it kept growing. Yeah. That's why like,
That's insane.
yeah. And I'd be like sitting there like at home and I'd be like, should I watch this movie? Or should I make $1,000 in that time that I'm going to watch this movie? And like, it was so annoying because I was just like, my throat, everything hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Which is the problem with live streams. But if you are, if you have a good product, you don't know how long that product is going to stay so great for. So I was like, okay, I'm just go on as much as I can. So I probably averaged, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And I did that throughout. I started basically at the very end of April, went throughout May, June, and July. And then probably about midway to the end of July, that's when that product started slowing down.
Right.
But during that time, I had multiple live stream days where I did over $5,000. I think I had 4 days I did over $5,000. I had one day I did over $6,000, and then I guess I had another day where I did over $8,000. No, I had 2 days over 6,000, one day over $8,000. So my best
Commission.
day ever. Yeah, in commissions. Yeah. So yeah,
Dude, I
my
thought
best week.
Chris's $3,500 day was insane, but $8,000 on one live stream is just it. What was the price point of the product? I mean, the ice maker, the bullet ice maker was what, $49 when they ran that sale for you guys on lives?
Yeah,
Something like that?
Yeah, that was let me back up real quick. So in the very beginning, this is why it was such a good product, is because TikTok was doing that new customer deal where not only would
Right, those
like
coupons.
yeah, so like that bullet ice maker was supposed to be $59, but if you're a new customer, you'd see a price of $44.99. And then if I showed you how to use that new customer discount on top of the just the new customer price, you could get it for $19.99. So in the very
Holy
beginning,
shit.
I was selling ice makers for $19.99 and my commission was like $15
That's
because TikTok was
wild.
yeah, so it was so easy. And I was horrible at selling them. I didn't have any tactics to push like and I was like, man, if by the end of it with all the skills I had developed to get people to go to that checkout screen, I was like I would have been
Right.
making $10,000 days easily. But they took away some of
Oh,
those first time customer discounts which was a bummer. But when I did $8,000 in one day, I had three ice makers set up. So it was kind of cool because it was like a lower price one, medium price, and then the higher priced one. So it's almost like that the design when you go to the movie theater and you see the low price popcorn, the medium, and the high.
right,
Some
right,
people are
right.
going to go towards the low one, and then a lot of people are just going to go towards the high priced one. Because like the two higher price ones were like pretty comparable, and then the lower
Right.
price one was like way lower. So I don't know. It kind of I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Maybe the popcorn thing doesn't work, but yeah, it's something like that. But it totally worked. So I was selling the bullet ice maker, which was the cheap one,
Right.
and I was just pushing people to get the discounts and stuff. And that one was about $60, and then the nugget ones were about 110 to like $150, and my commissions were like 25% on all that stuff. And I had some, I like use I was, and that was 8 hours of live streaming. So I did, and I would track every 30 minutes how many I sold. And I think I sold at one 30-minute period, I sold like 30. So I think I sold like there was a portion in there where I made like over $1,000 in 30 minutes. And then you get all hyped up and you're like, oh, I'm gonna stay on this thing forever. And then eventually
Right.
you start to fizzle.
Oh, that's insane, though. I mean, that kind of money in that short amount of time. You're talking gambling style money. Like you're talking money that people really only see when off of luck and things of that nature. But this is something that was done in theory by design, and it's an everyday thing for a long period of time. But I mean, kudos to you for being able to talk for all those hours, dude. I tried live streaming, and I couldn't. And the thing with live streaming, you can't shut up. Like you have to continue to speak. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong there, but you'll drop viewership if you stop talking. It's insane.
Yeah, and I got to the point where I don't know, for I like obviously if you're on there 8 hours, like I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta eat some food. So I
Right.
would just tell people real quick, I'd just be like, hey, I gotta go check on my dog real quick, and I'd like run out and I would like pre-make food where it was like something that I knew I could like smoothies and stuff, like protein
Right.
shakes,
Right.
and I'd
Right.
chug these things down, and then I'd like try to go to the bathroom quick, and then I would try to not be off the stream for more than I'd try to keep it 90 seconds to like 2 minutes. But even that is probably a little bit too long. But it just at a certain point you just kind of have to do it. But it
That's so
honestly
crazy.
didn't really drop my viewers that much. But I think they might have changed the algorithm and how they're doing it, and it might affect it more now.
Right. And live streaming, I mean, obviously TikTok is pushing it hard. Everyone knows, and it's one of those things. But it's just it's tedious. It's difficult. It's hard to put the time in. A lot of people can't find the time. Speaking of time, is this all you do full time? Or are you currently employed as well outside of this?
So I'm currently employed. I work for a sales group. So we work for some like bigger companies and stuff in the outdoor
Okay.
industry. The biggest one, most recognizable, is I work for Hydro Flask. So I'm a sales rep for Hydro Flask.
That's
Luckily, I
wild.
work from. What'd you say?
I said that's wild. I love
So I
that.
work I work from home. So a lot of times when I was on those live streams, I'd be responding to emails off to the side. I'm really bad at doing two things at once, but I'd respond to emails and I would just ignore phone calls until after I got off, and then I'd respond to whatever phone calls I had. But I
Right.
work from home, so it's not that so it's pretty easy. And then when I am essentially in the office, it's when I'm on the road. So it's when I'm traveling around to customers and showing them new products. So you might not see me on a live stream for like 2 days, 3 days, because I'm on a work trip, and then I'd come back and I'd be right back into it. Um,
That's crazy.
Yes, but it's like honestly, my job is very it's very flexible and it's very seasonal in a sense where a lot of times throughout the year I'm not crazy busy and then sometimes I'm super busy. But yeah, so I do both things, but it is extremely flexible. So that's
So
how I'm able to do it.
Hydro Flask, that's the tumbler company, right? The water bottle company, right?
Yeah, that's why I haven't promoted any water bottles, none of those coldest cups,
Ah, that
none of
makes
that stuff.
sense.
Yeah, I don't want them seeing it. I get in trouble
So
for that for sure.
do they have plan? I mean, I don't know if you can talk about this or if you even know, but do they have plans on coming to TikTok Shop themselves?
I have no idea. I don't know. A
That
lot
would
of
be
the
kind of interesting.
and a lot of these big companies, I was like, dude, you guys need to get on this thing. And I think they're
Yeah.
just like so oblivious to the opportunities of TikTok. So hopefully, like, they realize and they start doing it. We're seeing, you know, bigger and bigger companies come on every single day. Crocs
Every
just
day.
came on. Those Hey Dude shoes, I started seeing those
Yeah.
everywhere. Dude wipes, like so
Yep.
many big companies. Social Army just partnered with what is it? The Tumblr,
Ice
the like,
shaker.
ice shaker. Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
seeing that for
Chris's brand.
years and years. Awesome. So yeah, I
Especially
think
you
more
being
and
in the
more.
fitness space. I mean, that's a big product. It's a shaker. I mean, a protein shaker, but
Mhm.
a shaker cup. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I think
That's
yeah. So
crazy.
yeah, I have a very flexible schedule. So that's why I'm able to do kind of this, and I don't have to go to an office. Like I just work from home.
Right.
So yeah, I got a lot of flexibility when it comes to all this.
Is there a reason you're keeping the day job? I mean, is it for benefits and things of that nature, or is it just something you don't see the need to get rid of? And it's obviously it's another income source, but is it something you don't see the need to just like get rid of at this moment in time, or do you honestly enjoy what you do with it, or is it a
It's all
combination
right.
of all?
Yeah, it's really not. It's not too much work, and I work for my dad owns the company, so eventually that might be the way I go, where I own like the whole company. So if I kind of stick it out, then I can kind of get to the higher points. He
Wait,
doesn't
your
own
dad
Hydro
owns?
Flask. He owns a sales
Oh
group.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
Oh, you don't work for Hydro Flask directly. You work for the sales group that deals with the sales for. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, I was like, holy shit, your dad owns Hydro Flask?
No, 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 no,
Threw
no.
me off.
So
Okay, okay, okay. That
yeah,
makes more sense.
so that's kind of one reason why I would be staying. If it was like a separate company and I was making how much I'm making and stuff, I might think about like leaving and stuff. But
Right.
currently, I got a lot of flexibility. It's stable, which TikTok is always up and down.
Hmm.
But yeah, I am making way, way, way more money on TikTok than I am doing this other stuff.
Right. And TikTok's explosive income. I mean, it's one of those things where you've got your good months, you got your bad months. Some people go through a really long stretch of good times and good months, and then they hit a wall, and it's just like all hell breaks loose. I've been through that. I know a bunch of other creators who have as well, but
And I
yeah,
got something
it's
I got something to say about that. I think the
uh-huh.
reason, so yeah, I've seen a lot of people say they're having like some slow periods and stuff. So once I stopped kind of doing live streams, once my product kind of stopped getting sales, and I switched to another product and actually started, and I was making like $100 to $200 per hour, but going from $500 to $600 an hour, I was like, okay, I'm gonna figure out this video thing. And I post 5 times per day. I've already
Right.
posted 3 times per day. So the problem I see with a lot of people and a lot of people who even have had a ton of success is that either they get comfortable once they've had some videos go viral,
Hmm.
or they haven't had anything go viral and they're just not posting enough. But I have posted for the last at least 30 days. I posted 5 times per day on my main account. I post twice per day on my second account, and then I actually just started a third account that's going to be more like helping people with TikTok. But I want to
Hmm.
grow that one to 5,000 just to use as a backup in case I ever need it.
Right.
But since doing that, like I had a video hit 13 million views. Over the last, I think, yeah, over the last month, I had another video hit. I think it's probably at 5 million views.
Mm.
I've had a ton of videos get over 100,000 views. I had a video hit 500,000 views. So it's like, and a lot of my videos don't get crazy amounts of views, but it's just a
Right.
numbers game. Like I'm putting in
It's
at
it.
least 200 videos a month.
Yep. It's consistency, and I've been preaching that since the very beginning. It is
Hmm.
pure consistency. Now, consistency will breed quality over time.
Yeah.
Videos will get a lot better, and you'll start learning what works and what doesn't work. Like there's certain videos I'll make and I'll post, and I know they'll do numbers just based off of the structure, the product, and how it's put up. Like the ice shaker video, that video's done 400,000 views. And I knew it was going to do well because it followed the exact same structure I did for the coldest cup that I went
Yeah.
viral on with twice. So now 3 times, 3 for 3, the same structure. I made that same style of video go viral. The problem that I have with the ice shaker video though is I've gotten 2 sales off of 400,000 views.
Wait,
I don't know what's
how
going
is
on.
that possible?
I have no godly idea, but I'm not the only one experiencing that. I also have multiple other videos that are at 20, 30, 40,000 views, zero sales. There's something going on with TikTok. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they're optimizing for Q4 or what's going on. But we have another person inside the group who has a video with 1.5 million views, one sale. One sale.
That's okay, because that's crazy because I keep hearing this, and
Yes.
for me, it's not happening. Like currently, it's
For a lot of people, it's not either.
okay, okay, yeah,
I
because it's
have no
yeah,
idea.
it's not even 1 p.m. where we're at right now, and I've already made $1,200 today off
Right.
videos.
Right. And theoretically, off of that ice shaker video, I should have made 15, 20 grand,
Yeah.
somewhere in that range already, just from what I did off of the other brand, off of Coldest. My video did 3.5 million views. I made close to $45,000 off of that video, off of 3.5 million views. Like
Yeah,
I
that's good.
I should be making around the same with the ice shaker, but I've sold 2 units. So I don't know what's happening, but something's going on with TikTok. And there's a lot of other creators. Chastity, another creator inside of our community, has done a 1 million view video, not a single sale off that video. Not
And
one.
are you seeing the link when you go on other accounts and you go back to your? Okay, you're seeing the link.
Actually, hold on.
Yeah,
Will you? Do you have access to your phone right now?
yeah.
Maybe we can live check this and see.
Okay,
check
which,
out my page and see if we can.
Which account? Because you have daily deals, you have days.
Yeah, it's on LFAM Shop Finds.
Okay, I got that one. And then it's
it's-
and you need to post more videos too. I know you're busy with this, but I see
I
a
post
video
roughly
every.
about 1 to 2 videos a day.
Okay.
At least 1 video a day.
Um,
If you scroll, you can also sort by popular, but if you scroll down, it's about 5 rows down, 6 rows down. It's right next to the safe, the video with the safe.
oh yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, so the link's there.
I think one issue with this product is that it just says $34.99 and it doesn't say, like, it would have been better if it said $40 and then it was X'd out and it said $34.99.
Yep.
You just
Yeah,
need
just to show a
some
sale.
sale. Yeah, you
I
need
agree.
something.
And I talked to the guys about that. Hopefully we can get them to run something this weekend. I mean, tomorrow they'll run another flash sale on the weekend, but I do think that has a big play in it. It's kind of a pricier product, but it's a solid product overall. But it just doesn't make sense, man. It does not make sense.
Yeah,
And we're trying to figure it out.
Or like some sort of like and we can wait till the end of the podcast, but I have a strategy if anyone wants to wait till the end that has been getting me a lot of sales with low views.
Okay, I'm down to hear that.
That's a strategy I'm going to use at the end. I'll use at the end there. I'll keep people waiting a little bit, but that's been helping me out a lot.
Let's go. Yeah, and there's always something that'll help work, and the algorithm's ever updating. I mean, obviously, it's not the same as it was last week. It's not the same as it was last month. What you did last month may not work for this month, and I say that all the time, but it's very true because same goes with live streams. What you were doing last week on live may not work this week. You know, there may be different coupons. There may be different ways that TikTok's pushing your videos out there or your live streams out there. So it's a constant game of just improving and improvising what you already know and what you're doing. And I think they're just going through another big change. Either that or TikTok just doesn't like me anymore. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But man, it's frustrating. Well, to get beyond that, real quick, man, what are some of the things? I mean, you've had really good success all the way through, and you've been doing this since April, so we're looking at 5 months here. What are some of the setbacks that you've had that have made you kind of second guess even pushing forward with this, or have you had any that have really pushed you to that point?
I guess when we look, there was obviously tons of setbacks in the beginning, but once I started kind of rolling with the ice makers, it was more just burnout. Like I was like so burnt out. I was putting in, I think there was, you take a week and within those 7 days, I was doing at least 5 to 6 days streams, and I was doing probably a minimum of 4 hours each of those days. So it was just burnout, saying the same thing over and over again. But I just knew, like, hey, I don't know how long this is going to go for, so I'm going to keep going. And then once it eventually did kind of start slowing down, like it was the weirdest thing. This is kind of goes back to TikTok where, the algorithm's always changing. I was still having 200-300 viewers every time I hopped on, but my sales were like 10% of what they were before. I think they were just sending me bad traffic because It's pretty interesting, and this is how I've been told how live streams work. Is say the ice makers, a bunch of videos go viral with the ice makers. If someone interacts with those videos, but they probably don't actually buy the product, there's a good chance TikTok's going to send that person to a live stream. So it's kind of easy picking at that point because they already know the product, and then at that point, your job as a because there was a guy, Isaiah, absolutely phenomenal. I learned a ton from him. He wouldn't even really talk about the product on a live stream. He would literally just show people how to get the discounts, how to use the promo codes, and it
Yeah,
worked.
sell the sale. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was because of this kind of funnel thing where it's like people have already seen the product, they already know they want it, and then you're just being like, hey, if you get it right now, you're going to be able to use this promo code, you're going to be able to do this. So um I don't know where I was going with that, but that's kind of like how like the live streams work. And then so I think at one point they were just sending me bad traffic. So they were sending me people that maybe had no idea about an ice maker, and they just like I don't know why they were doing that. So I just wasn't getting like good sales, and that's when I stopped doing the ice makers. And then that's where I kind of had this like essentially probably like a week before I had a video with Goalie, which that's a huge company that Social Army actually partnered with, which right when I came on board with Social Army was when Goalie announced that initiative where they were giving out these crazy prizes, Rolexes, cars, all this
Yeah.
crazy stuff. And that's where I had a video start getting just traction. Nothing crazy, but five, six, $700 per day. And to this day, it's been about 45, maybe 50 days or something since I posted that video. That video has made at least $400 every single day. So I love
Yeah.
that video. That
I
video
remember
is
when that
awesome.
video first popped off, man. I was so happy for you because you were struggling with videos. You couldn't get
Yeah.
anything to pop. You had made several of them, and then when that one blew up, I remember it. You posting about it and talking about it. I was like, finally, this guy finally
Yeah.
got one.
I know, and I was on the call, like on the Social Army like Wednesday call with you. You had
Yeah.
me like on, and I was like, yeah, like, and we were talking more about live streams because that's where I had all the success.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I keep posting videos. I only get views when I'm using Spark codes. Nothing really converts that well. And then like it was like basically like the week after that where I had this video go really great for me, and it's still doing amazing. It won a Rolex, and it actually won another Rolex this month. So
That's so crazy.
yeah, so I think I'm at like 60,000 this month with Goalie. So I had to hit 50,000. I win the Rolex, a trip to Aruba, iPhone, Apple Watch, all this crazy stuff. So I'm like,
Right.
come on, guys. I messaged Goalie. I'm like, hey guys, you guys gonna bring it back for October? Because if this video keeps going, I'm like, maybe I got another Rolex in my in my pocket.
That's awesome.
And great company too. They paid me right away. They paid me within like 2 days of it ending, which was awesome. I ended
Yeah.
up going with the cash value, which I thought they were going to cheap out and be like, "Hey, you're going to get a $5,000 Rolex," which is like that's nothing to like scoff at. But I was like, "What's the cash value?" And they're like $10,000, and I was like, "Whoa, okay, that's not bad." So I ended up going with the cash on that. And I probably will again this time. But yeah, I guess that was, there was only like really like a week where I was like, I don't know, like which direction should I go? Should I sink more into live streams? Should I go more into videos? And then I went on a trip. I came back and I listened to a podcast. No, what I did is I went through all the case studies on Social Army. I followed all the people, all the top people, and I found who did I relate to the most, and it was Alex. Then you had Alex on your podcast, and I listened to Alex's podcast and how I was like, I think he had 20 videos over 500,000 views or over a
Yeah.
million views. And I was like, this is crazy because I looked and he didn't even post that often.
Right.
I was like,
He's got multiple
something.
accounts too.
He's got multiple
he-
accounts, and I was looking at
Yeah.
all his accounts. He's got like 3 or 4
Yeah.
accounts. I followed all of them, and I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, man, how is he doing this? And in the podcast, he started talking about how he creates controversy. He creates like a
Yes.
ton of controversy, and I was like, I can relate to this right here. I was like, I'm like, today. It's probably 1 p.m. I probably have 30 hate comments, and I probably have 5 positive ones on my account right now, and I don't care.
Yep.
And at one point, I was getting hundreds per day. People just telling me how lame I am, and I actually responded to one of them with a screenshot of my earnings, and that video actually got like 30 to 40,000 views. Just telling people, I was like, I made like $15,000 off that, and they're like, oh, and that shut them up real quick.
Yep.
But I just did it for fun because I was like, this is just funny. But I really liked what he was saying about how he creates controversy in his videos, and he does such a good job at it. And then from then on, whenever I would look at a product, I would be like, how can I create some sort of controversy with this product? And the newest one that I did was the mouth taping, which is like where you put like a piece of tape over your mouth, and it's gotten really popular through some of the big podcasters like Andrew Huberman, one of the biggest podcasts in the US right now.
Yeah, he's
and
huge.
It's got a lot of controversy just because people are like, why would you do that? It looks weird. And a lot of people say it doesn't do anything. So I posted some videos with that and it did really well. So yeah, just finding products that create controversy worked a ton for me. But yeah, since then I really haven't had any kind of issues or anything. Like this month is probably going to be my best month ever. With the money from goalie, we're sitting at September 26th, and I made about maybe $54,000 this month. Probably going to hit over $60,000 pretty easily this month.
Oh, without a doubt. If you're already at 1,200 for today, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, yesterday was 1,700, but today it's probably going to be over $2,000, all through videos. But I'm just like, and I know if the videos slow down, I still keep an eye on a lot of the live streamers, kind of seeing what products are doing well for them. And if my videos slow down, I'll just go back to live streams. I prefer the videos way more, but I can do them both.
I'm the same way as you, but I bet it's refreshing not having to go back into the live, or not having to do live streams every day right now, and just allowing videos to kind of print.
It's amazing.
I bet.
It's amazing.
You know, one thing I wanted to touch on, I want to backtrack a little bit here. You had mentioned earlier that you got exhausted off of going live for 4 hours. I'm sure there's going to be some people out there that say 4 hours, that's half a normal work day. Yes. But the difference is that is 4 hours of non-stop talking. I want you to do me a favor. Sit at home. Go stare at yourself in the mirror. Talk to yourself for 4 hours, saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And tell me you're not mentally and physically drained up here by the time you're done with those 4 hours. And see if you can even do it for 4 hours. Because I guarantee after 30 minutes of constantly repeating the same thing over and over again, without a single break except to breathe and take a drink of water, you're going to stop. Those 4 hours are some of the most tedious and, dare I say, grueling 4 hours that you'll ever spend making some money. And yes, it may not be hard work, like in terms of like manual or physical labor in that sense, but it is some of the most difficult things to do mentally, because you literally drive yourself insane. And I've done it. I went live for a couple of weeks. I enjoyed it in the beginning, and I grew to hate it almost immediately. But lives are a great way to make a quick and almost guaranteed source of income, as long as you're sticking with the current trending products that other live streamers are doing, and you follow what they're doing. You can immediately copy another live streamer that's killing it, and you'll start to see very similar results as them, as long as you stay consistent with it. But man, those 4 hours, they suck. They suck.
Yeah, and my mother-in-law, she's like a speech therapist, and she came over and visited us, and it was on a weekend, and I was like I can't really come and like do stuff with you guys. Like this is like, my weekends were always my best days. Like probably like I would make twice as much per hour, so it's like it's totally worth it. And she'd be at the house and she'd see me like doing it and stuff, and then she'd be like afterwards, she's like, that's like not good for your voice to be talking like that like nonstop for like 8 hours straight. And so not only so yeah, it's kind of tricky. And then afterwards, I'd get off one of those streams, and my wife would like, she'd come over, she'd like say something to me, and I just like would be totally blanked out. I'm just like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Brain is just done, melted. It is caved in for the day, and it's shut off. No, I get it. I completely get it. But man, those live streams, they're cool. But you got to be a special type of person to do it every single day. And for the amount of time that you did it, and the fact that you finally figured out a way to master your videos, dude, to be honest, it's like, I'm proud of you for that. Like, I'm happy that you were able to finally do it, because lives were your main source for so long. You used to come into my lives when I would go in and promote Social Army. And for the longest time, I'm not even sure how we skipped by you for as long as we did without getting you into Social Army, because, dude, you should have been in there a long time ago. But you used to come to my lives all the time, and then you and Dylan used to converse here and there, Dylan and Corbin. And, you know, that's it's just crazy to see.
I'll be honest. I besides live streaming, I wasn't looking at anything else. I was like, my live streams were
Right.
going so well. I was like, I knew there was some like communities out there and all this kind of stuff, but I was like, I didn't even like look at anything because I was like, by the time I finished live streaming and they were doing so well, I was like, I'm so tired. Like I'm
Right.
done.
Right.
I'm done looking. And I'd see yours every now and then. I'd hop on there, kind of check it out what you guys were doing, and that's where I first learned about Social Army. Was just like while I was doing really good at live streams, I'd see you pop up every now and then. I'd be like, oh, this is interesting. He's making a
Right.
bunch of money from videos. And he's a guy, which, I look at the top 100 earners on TikTok all the time. I can go through the TikTok seller platform and I can see everyone.
Hmm.
So I like to keep an eye on people. And when you look at the top, 50, there's probably 5 or 6 guys in there typically.
Yeah.
Every now and then, a video pops. Like PNW Dad was top 3 for a while, but he dropped down
Yeah.
just because he had a video go crazy. And he is consistent. But the real consistency, it's all just the women on there. It's
It's all women.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. I'm like, I'm so jealous. And that's
Yep.
why I try to pick products that appeal to women because women buy more stuff online. And that's why one of the reasons I did the ice makers, that's a reason I'm super into fitness. But when I post fitness content and things like that, I don't really get that much conversions with it. And that's why I focus a little bit more on, like kind of like the ice maker stuff, things like
Yeah,
that.
the household items, things that women will use, and both genders for that matter.
Yeah.
But one thing that women love: iced coffee. If they don't
Yeah.
have a refrigerator that makes ice, an ice maker's perfect. And that bullet ice is everyone's favorite ice. That stuff's good. Or the Sonic ice, the Pebble ice, or whatever the hell it's called.
The
That stuff's
nugget
great
ice.
too.
That's
Nugget
everyone's
ice. There you
favorite.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that ice that everyone loves. Which is pretty funny. I made the video I made on the coldest cup. I went to Sonic and bought ice, put it in my freezer, and then I just dispensed it out of there just because that's like the best ice. But yeah, no, it's funny. And women occupy the top 10 every single month. I mean, like you said, every so often you'll see a dude up there. But even inside Social Army, we did a poll last night in our live. We had 300 people in there, and I think almost 200 people voted on it. We asked, are you a man or are you a woman? 70% women inside Social Army, and we have 3,000 members. So I mean,
Wow.
it's insane how many women are doing this and absolutely killing it. And you're right, I'm jealous too because dude, they make so much money. They make so much money doing this stuff. It's insane. But it's okay. We all got our fair share of the pie. So that's really cool, man. Real quick, we got about 15 minutes left here. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions in regards to how you really go through and decide what products you want to pick. Do you do things? I mean, you just kind of touched on it slightly there, but do you have like parameters you go over, a specific rating, amount of units that are within the product, or is there anything in particular you look for in a product before you decide to pick it up?
So I don't look at the ratings too much. I like to make sure it's at least like over 4 stars, and I like to
Sure.
check that they have like a good amount, like a decent amount of units. But honestly, a lot of times I forget to check that stuff. For the majority of stuff, there's a couple places I'm looking when I'm trying to find new products. One of them is I went through all the case studies that are in Social Army. There's about, I don't know, what is there, 13, 15, something like that.
I think, yeah,
I
almost
follow-
15 now.
15. Okay. So I follow the people that I can relate to the most. So it's not going to be a lot of like the women because I probably am not going to be able to promote the products that they're promoting.
Right.
But I'll go through and I'll see what videos are doing well for them and I'll request those products. Another place I'm looking is another spot is again within Social Army is they post the top 5 videos of the week. And I look at those videos and I'm like, can I easily replicate this video? And if it's a yes, I immediately request that product. And then there's also like they also release like in Social Army, I saw the top 20 products or top 20 videos with like hooks and stuff. I went through
Yes.
all those videos the other day and I requested a bunch of products. So that's a big portion. And then just scrolling through, if I see a video where I'm like, I could easily make a video with that product, I immediately request it. But I need to have some idea in my head right off the bat that's going to excite me when this product actually arrives. Because like most of us, I've gotten so many products, I get them and I'm like, I don't want to make a video on this thing.
Yep. Yep,
So,
that's very common actually. You start getting so much stuff, it's like, I don't even know how to make a video.
Or my
on
wife
this.
will be like, hey, I kind of want this. And I'm like, yeah, just go buy it because I don't want to make a video on that. It's not going to do well. It's going to be pointless. So I'm just like, okay, just like go buy it at this point. So yeah, I try to find, and recently it's just after watching Alex's podcast and seeing all of the stuff he does, I just try to find products where I can immediately see a lot of controversy and I could see people wanting to go to the comment section and respond to that video. And that's
I
been
love
the
that.
biggest thing. That's what pushes videos more than anything I have found. And then once a video does go viral, comment replies. And then that takes
Yes.
up a good portion of the, like, I'll probably post twice per day. And those are just going to be comment replies. So I have 2 videos that are doing really well. I'm going to comment reply on those every single day, probably for a little bit longer until something else picks up.
That's smart. That's super smart. Comment replies are huge, and it puts people down a rabbit hole. I mean, you got to think about it this way. If you have a video that's already going pretty viral and then you do a comment reply, that comment is going to be shot to the very top of the comment section. So whenever people are looking into the comments, which is a common thing for people to do, especially in a controversial video, because the first thing they're going to do is run to the comments and try to make another comment, they're going to see that video. They're then going to click on that video and be curious about what else you have to say. What else are you going to say that's going to piss them the hell off? Then they're watching that video, which adds views to it. And then when that video is on the For You page, whenever people come across that, they see that it was a comment reply. Naturally, they're going to click on that comment, bringing views back to the original video. So it's a back and forth, never-ending cycle of just views being recycled back and forth between those videos, which is huge. That's why comment reply videos are so important. And especially if you get a comment reply video to go viral, it's just going to pick up the other video. And if you have multiple comment replies, people are going to get stuck going down that rabbit hole. And then your videos are just going to keep getting views after views after views. It's insane how it works. And TikTok's algorithm is just insanely strong. It knows you better than you know yourself. You can think of something and it'll show up on your algorithm. Like it's insane how it works. That's crazy. Now, you mentioned earlier, I'm sure that this might take a few minutes to explain, that you were going to drop some knowledge here at the end of the podcast for some people. I've been curious about that ever since, and it's been bothering me not to ask you the question, but I think we're here. Let's hear
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, there's a strategy, and I've shared it with some people, and I've seen a lot of people they've seen it work for me, and I've seen a lot of people copy me at this point, which is very smart. Definitely copy people, steal people's hooks, steal people's videos as much as possible. I stole Alex's video, and it made me like $15,000. So thank you, Alex. I do appreciate that. I also, but the one that's like, I come from the live stream background, which is, again, I would always bring out a second phone and I'd show people exactly how to enter promo codes, how to get to those deal section, how to get better discounts. So now what I do with a lot of products is, you know, this product, Groons. I've seen you promote it. So
I actually got violated for them the other day. They took 2 of my videos off my For You page, or off my page.
What was it for?
Controlled substances. TikTok thought I was selling drugs.
Yeah, that's a problem. I have an issue with goalie on one of mine, which is like and I don't promote. I don't even talk about supplements. When I'm promoting supplements, I literally pick supplements that are popular. Like, I've seen Groons all over my Instagram, so that's where I saw it on TikTok, and I saw it was cheaper on TikTok than it was on Amazon. So I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna order it, and I'm just looking at my September numbers, and I've made. On this account, I've made $550 on it, and then on my other account, I think I've done like almost $1,000 on Groons. And all I did was, I pulled up and I think this is still fine to do this. I haven't had any issues with it. I pull up Amazon and I say, and I show the Amazon screen, but I don't show Amazon. So I don't show people like that it says Amazon, but people can tell based on the lettering that it's Amazon. And I'll be like, and it'll show 5,000 people bought it in the last month at $60. And then I'll quickly show them on my second phone. But on TikTok, you guys can get it for $45. Let me show you how. And I'm literally just filming my second phone kind of a situation. And I'll show people how to get that discount. And those videos, I've had videos where, like, I'll post it, it'll get like 1,000 views, and I'll get like 3, 4, 5 sales in those 1,000 views, just because there's a good chance TikTok's sending that to the right people, and those people just want a discount. So I've done that with Groons, and I think I've done probably total maybe about $2,000 in Groons from super simple videos that take no creativity, no nothing, just kind of excitement in your voice. And then I also did it with micro ingredients, and I've done $900 on micro ingredients, showing people how to use, there was like a discount code, micro summer. I don't think it works anymore, but I was just showing people how to use that discount, and that got sales. And then I also did it with goalie, and I've done probably with the rewards I've won through goalie. I think goalie, all in is probably going to pay me close to $50,000 to $60,000 in the last 2 months. So yeah, those videos I've just seen like I'll get like 1,000 views and I'll get sales, which a lot of times you'll get 1,000 views and you'll get zero sales. Like very
Yeah,
common to get zero sales out of 1,000 views. But with that
100%.
style of video, and I don't know how long they're gonna allow that style of video for, and you got to be really careful with it, with not showing Amazon if you are comparing it,
Yes.
or what you're doing with that second phone is like a lot of times if you're showing like try to get discount codes from the companies. So I just made 2 videos right before we hopped on here with ice makers because they gave me a promo code. So all I do is I go, this is how you're going to use that promo code, and I showed them on the phone, and then immediately people are going to be like, oh, I want to see if that promo code actually works. And then even if
Right.
they don't buy it, then it's already in their cart. So if they buy it later, I'm still going to get credit for that thing. So yeah, that strategy. I probably try to post like one per day with that strategy just because it converts so well. And
That's
once it
crazy.
starts converting kind of well, because it converts so well, what you do is you reach out to the company and you get the Spark code on it because they're going to want to use that because it converts so well.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
that
They're going to
that's
want to push it out there even more.
but it's got to be a product that people already know. So Grooms
Right.
was one, Goalie was one, and then micro ingredients. I've done it. I've only really done it with, and then ice makers and stuff. So it has to be a product that people already know about, and then you're basically showing them how to get the best deal on it.
Right. And that's what made your goalie video go so viral was literally that strategy right there. I mean, that's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
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 that
it's
how
but
many views
yeah.
does that video have?
I think it's at like four or just over 4 million. But the thing is, it converts so well. Like,
Right.
I'm looking right now, and that video's done like $400 so far today, and we still have about 10 hours left. And usually the back half of the day is my better half. But I've already done, oh, I guess I've done $200 on this account on Groons, just with those simple Groons videos. So
That's
I'll probably
crazy.
make some more of those Groons videos. I don't know how long they're going to keep. They have like a 20% off coupon right now that you can enter just on, if you're a first time Groons buyer on TikTok. So not if you're a first time buyer, and people love it.
Right.
And it's actually
You
a
got
pretty
me
good
over
product
here.
too. I like them.
Oh, and they taste good. My kids like them, which is crazy. But
I
you've got
bet.
me over
Yeah.
here thinking I need to go make a Goons video right now and see how well it pops off. Because like God,
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it's a definitely a good product. But yeah, that's been
right.
my strategy. Look, yeah, so I've done 14. I've done over 2,000 this month on Groons, just from simple videos. So that's been kind of a cool like little addition
That's
to
crazy. I
my
love to
more
see that
like
though.
yeah to my like more controversial videos that I like try to
Right.
post and stuff.
You know, I will say, for those of you that heard that, be very careful with the whole Amazon thing. There's no issues with being able to show certain things in pricing, but do not include the name Amazon or don't even mention the name Amazon inside that video. If you can, avoid it at all costs. You might get a violation. But overall, what he's doing is extremely smart. You're price comparing, which is I don't think necessarily a bad thing. Just be careful with what you do, and it works. Clearly, it works,
Yeah.
and you're showing people how to get the best deal possible. Which that's all people care about. People don't. They know the product. They give a shit less about that. It's how do I get that product for even cheaper than what it's already on sale for, and that's just called building curiosity. And the more you can do that, and the better you can get at it, the more you're going to convert.
Yeah, and eventually TikTok might say, "Hey, we're not going to allow price comparisons because like in
Right.
the Amazon influencer program, you're not allowed to say in your videos anything about pricing just because pricing changes, and they don't want a video saying, "Hey, it's $50," and then someone clicks on the product and it's $70 now. So I could see eventually TikTok's going to be like, "Hey, we don't want you guys doing any price comparisons," but for now I haven't seen any issues with it, but yeah, you got to be careful with
Right.
those.
100%. And certain companies don't let you do it. Like, I think Goalie was one that didn't want you to price compare to their competitors because it's not necessarily a good thing in some ways. But price comparing in general, if it's allowed by the company and TikTok still allows it, by all means do it because it's going to help you convert more than anything else. And that's another thing too. Building curiosity is one of the best things. That's why call to actions are so important because if you can build enough curiosity to get people to click on your link, TikTok's funnel at the very end during their buying process is very seamless, and they know how to convert people into buyers. And once that those people add that product to their cart, it's attached to you for 2 weeks. So as long as they go back and buy it within a 2 week period, you still get the commission for it, whether they buy it that day or 12 days down the road. But the thing is, building curiosity is something as simple as, by the way, guys, this product is on sale right now. It's about 50% off what it normally is priced for. But if you have the right coupons, you can get it for even cheaper than its current sale price. I've left a link right down below just for you. Go check it out. All you're doing is building curiosity enough for somebody to want to go through, click on the product, see how cheap they can possibly get it for. And if you give them the instructions and show them how to get it for even cheaper, you're just building trust within you. So they're going to trust you more often. So next time they come across one of your videos, somehow, if they ever do, and they see you and you're doing the same thing, they're immediately going to trust who you are, and they're going to go through and probably buy it. So it's huge. You're building trust and you're building curiosity. It's the best thing you can do to convert sales. So that's awesome. I love that, dude. And the fact that you've had so much success in such a short period of time, it's just so crazy to see. You're just shy of $1 million in total sales GMV, but you've made roughly about $250,000 in total commission while stacking Amazon influencer program, while continuing to work an actual job, and somewhere along the lines as well, trying to build another income stream by promoting Social Army and being an affiliate for that. So you're well on your way to building this average 7 streams of income to be a millionaire. I mean, you're on your way to it. That's crazy. Good for you, man. I love to see it and I love to hear it. Cole, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
28.
28.
And,
so you and I are the same age. I love it.
And I live, I live in San Diego. I live in the most expensive place on earth, or in the U.S. I think they ranked it as like the most expensive place to live. So it's pricey out here. It's a great place. It's a good life. So I can't complain. But my wife and I, we never thought we'd be able to buy a house here. But starting in the beginning of next year, we're actually probably on the way. We're gonna have a house at the beginning of next year. Just because everything the down payment and everything is like ready to go with all of this stuff.
Right.
So
it just fell into your lap. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So it was something where it probably would have taken us 3, 4, 5 years. We were able to kind of get that thing down to like 1 year, which has been with Amazon, and then TikTok has been absolutely huge.
That's a dream. And I love to see it, man. Good for you. And I bet your wife's super happy about it as well. You guys don't have any kids, do you? It's just you and your wife?
No, yeah, we have a dog that I guess tore his Achilles, so he's very expensive. So this extra money's kind of nice.
Yeah, man, a dog tearing his Achilles. I've never heard that before. That's
yeah, he's just playing and stuff. So $5,000 in rehab. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice having this money. When things pop up, which they do in life, it's nice having this extra money where it's like, hey, okay, that happened. We don't have to stress about it anymore. And in the past, it was like we weren't doing we weren't struggling like a lot of people and stuff, but it's just less stress now. And this has been it's been awesome.
I mean, living in California, let alone SoCal, and in a beach city is rough. I grew up in California. I grew up in a place called Redlands, kind of right there in the Inland Empire. Some of you guys might know what it is. Some of y'all might not. But it's a really nice town, but it's old money town. It's a wealthy town, and I didn't grow up wealthy in that setting, right? But California is not cheap. So being able to live a comfortable life out there is a blessing, because it's hard to do. My wife and I almost moved back. But we did the math, and it just wasn't worth it, especially with all of our kids.
It's tough. We live in like basically a shoebox, 700 square feet, but we're a mile from the beach. The weather's amazing, so I'm outside all the time. So it's like it's worth it for right now. But we just want like a little spot, a little bit bigger spot that's actually ours. And yeah, luckily I think that's going to happen pretty soon.
Congrats, man. That's awesome to hear. Of course. Well, you guys. For all of you guys that made it this far, thank you again for being here as always. If you guys want to join Social Army, I know you heard us talk about it quite a bit through here. We are the #1 community on WAP, which is where we host our platform. For everything TikTok Shop affiliate related. We have every resource you could almost imagine on the inside of the Discord community itself, as well as a very in-depth course that teaches you everything you need to know A to Z, TikTok Shop affiliate related, as well as some more advanced modules. I think we have now 13 or 15, I can't remember, I think it's 15 case studies over an hour each roughly of just successful affiliates, giving you guys all the information you need on what made them successful. And finding, like Cole said, finding the people that you can relate to most and piggybacking off of what they're doing is probably one of the best things you can do for yourself Cole is a walking, living proof of it. He copied Alex, found that Alex was the one he related to most, went and replicated his style and built controversy and bred controversy in all of his videos, and is now exploding on the virality side of things with videos outside of just live. So the proof is there. And on top of that, you have the podcast that we do here as well, which I think now we have 16 of those up in live. That's 16 hours of just jam-packed information teaching you everything you need to know. So we are the one-stop shop for everything you need to know about TikTok Shop Affiliate. And if you want to join us, there will be a link down below, and that link will be Cole's link. So you'll be directly supporting him with that. So you guys would be amazing for that. And if you want to follow any of my socials or any of Cole's socials, all the ones that he's comfortable sharing, we will have linked down below. Outside of that, the rest of our socials will be down below. You can take a look at all my affiliate pages, all his, and things like that. But again, thank you guys for being here. Cole, do you have anything else you want to say before we jump off of here today?
No, I appreciate you having me. I guess last thing I would say is, I had a bunch of success with live streams, and then once it started kind of slowing down, that's when I decided to join Social Army, and I had no success really with videos prior to that. I've been a part of it for about 2 months now. I went through all the course modules, I went through all the case studies, I went on the weekly calls. I basically did everything, and I've made, I don't know, maybe $80,000 since then on all videos. I've gone live like maybe once or twice. So again, my story is not going to be the same as your story. All depends on how much work you're willing to put into it and everything. But everything that you need to be successful is in there. So that's why I promote it so much, is like if I had made $0, in the first couple of months after joining and after going through all the information, I'd be like, maybe this is not the best program. But, I wouldn't be surprised if, give me a couple more weeks, I'll make over $100,000 through everything I've learned in Social Army. So yeah, if you guys want to join, definitely join the community.
It's a wonderful place to be. And I'm not just saying that because I'm one of the founders of it. I'm saying that because we built a community-based platform, and it's alive. That's all I got to say. If you want to check it out, feel free to do so. I promise it won't be a waste of money. But outside of that, guys, I appreciate you guys again, as always, for being here. Cole, thanks for being on with us today. Thanks for sharing everything, man. And, I think there's a lot more you and I could talk about in the future. So maybe there's a part 2 here in the near future, but we'll talk about that some more later on. But you guys,
Sounds
thanks
good.
again. I think we're going to get out of here for the day. Everyone have a wonderful day. Appreciate you, Cole. All right. And we'll